Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
So can everybody see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so let me just talk to you about this real estate course. I used to teach it to agents and to real estate people who want to get into real estate investing. And I would teach it live, with PowerPoint slides. I started teaching it about 10 years ago, and now the technology exists to create a digital course that people can buy it and take it whenever they
looking
want.
at the same.
Hang on one second. Sorry. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
So this new platform is called Self-Made Wealth. I actually built this out on a website called Kajabi. And Kajabi is like, teachable and thinkific. If you want to sell products and you want to sell your knowledge, you can build courses and put them on here. So my how to buy a rental property in 90 days or less, we just finished that. And I spoke about that the last time I was on the call. And so now it's done and accessible. So I just wanted to preview it to everybody. And then what I'm going to do also is, let's see here. When I get, okay. So you can still see my screen?
Yeah, it looks like a great shot of.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So as we go along, I'm gonna jump into some of the Word documents and the PDFs and the Excel files that are included with this course. Okay. So let's go right back here. So anyway, this website, it's selfmadewealth.co if you want to find the course. And also, if you go here and click on resources, I've got a whole bunch of free ebooks here that you can download. Okay. I'm not just a real estate broker. I mean, I've been in the bar business. I was in the nightclub business. I have my own brokerage now. I've been a real estate investor for about 25 years. So, I'm more of an entrepreneur, and I want to help people build financial and personal freedom. And real estate investing, of course, is a great way to do that. It's just one way to do it. But Self-Made Wealth is built out to help aspiring and existing entrepreneurs pursue whatever their passion is. It could be manufacturing a product. It could be, starting or buying an e-commerce business, acquiring competitors, being a private lender, finding private lenders, whatever. So I just wanted to show you these things because these are all free ebooks. This Clarity Toolkit is great because I was working like crazy one day, and I was sitting on the couch one night asking myself, why am I working 7 days a week right now and all these different things? And I said, what is it what's my end game, of all of this? And so that's how I created this Clarity Toolkit. I started it with the end in mind, like how do I want my life to turn out? Well, then what are the things I needed to do? Goal mastery is all the things I've used to actually break down goals into smaller bites and accomplish goals. Time management, so it's great content in it. Anyway, you can download any of these, they're free. I also republished my book, The 6 Steps to Lasting Wealth, and this Driving Thoughts is a Kindle, but it's mostly available on Audible, and it's 6 years worth of Audible of audio recordings of just how what self-education and personal improvement have done for my life. I have a podcast here. It's on these RSS feeds. In fact, there's a few versions right here. I'm starting to put some videos out, and get rid of that. So really cool stuff here as well. And, like this one's called 15 Ideas to Own Your Own Future. And what really inspired me, and the reason why I think everybody should be investing in real estate, real estate is an evergreen product. And what I mean by that is if your business was making and publishing and distributing magazines, we know, for instance, newspapers and magazines are getting smaller and smaller. They're being read less and less. That's not an evergreen product. But lodging is never going to go away. no matter what happens with artificial intelligence and robots, people always need a roof over their head. And so that's one reason I lean heavily into, I'm into motels now, and I actually do more extended stay, but I still have my apartment buildings. I had 3 multi-tenant office buildings. I sold 2 of them. I still have the one that I'm in now. I have 12 tenants here, but um, real estate is a great product. And in fact, if you go back to resources, there's a book right here, 10 Reasons Why Real Estate Investing. This is a short ebook, but these are 10 reasons why I think the average person could get into real estate investing, learn about it, and build wealth. You don't need to go get a PhD to do this, right? If I wanted to be a doctor and make $500,000 a year, I got to go back to school for a long time, right? And by the way, I keep looking to the side because all your pictures are on the side of my screen. So I'm actually looking at all your faces, just so you know. Anyway, so if you go to products, I have 3 products that you can actually purchase. And here's how to buy a rental property in 90 days or less. I put together a 35-page ebook on everything I know about money and wealth from a mindset standpoint. I think if you want to build financial and personal freedom, one of the best places to start is your understanding of money and wealth. You can trade your time for money, or you can put your money to work for you, right? And a lot of that is discussed in here. And then I have a mastermind group that I did, in 2020. I sold it out. And this is all about goal setting, accountability, clarity. It's very structured. I'm relaunching that in January. But let's go to this course, okay? So this is how to buy a rental property in 90 days or less. And I'm just going to scroll down through this page, and then we'll go into the course. I want to show you what's in it. And by the way, I've said this before. Gary has said it to you. I would say 1/3 of my business is working with real estate investors. And I don't need to tell you this, but once you got a bunch of clients that like real estate, if they buy a certain type of property, they'll do 4, 5, or 6 deals a year with you, right? The average homeowner stays in a home, I think, 8 or 9 years now. And don't get me wrong, I'm religious about staying in touch with my past clients because they refer me. And if they ever do want to buy or sell their house, they call me. And it doesn't take a lot to do that. I have a great program I teach my agents about past client relationships. If you do just one little thing every month with your past clients, they're going to give you a lot of business. But anyway, it's just amazing the amount of money I've made helping people buy and sell investment property. And if you take this course, believe me, you will have so much content and forms and tools that you can share with your clients, and you'll know a lot about the products. When your clients ask you a question, you'll be able to answer that question, and they'll know they're working with the right agent. Also, if somebody says, hey, I've got a 5-unit, I know you helped me buy a house. Could you help me sell this investment property? You can confidently say yes, and you won't be faking it until you make it, okay? And of course, I just talk about these outcomes here. If I slide down a little bit more, again, a description about what the course is, some more content. Here's a couple of guys that took my course. I don't know if you remember Matt Bennett. I brought him on the second time I was on the call. Matt's portfolio is now approaching $2 million. He's like my star pupil. I love this guy.
Nice.
He's doing so well. And this is my nephew, Brandon. He just moved back from Las Vegas. He was a professional card player for the last 15 years. Now, if you're a professional card player and you decide you don't want to do that anymore, you can't exactly go put a resume in to get an engineering job somewhere, right? What do, right? You almost have to try to be an entrepreneur. And he's decided he wants to be a real estate entrepreneur. And he took my course and gave me a great review. These are people that have taken my course that are high net worth investors. I've actually sold them properties as well. Again, 10 reasons why I recommend real estate. And that ebook right here, that's under resources. So you can get it through the resources page or get it right there. And by the way, if you want to take this ebook and start promoting to clients that you're a realtor and here's why you could help them learn and buy, go right ahead. I don't care. Anything that's on this site, you can use it in your business. Okay. I just want you to succeed. I want you to make more money. And if you really want to be, if you want to do something to really help yourself as a realtor, own investment property, okay? Because you're going to learn so much about the physical product that we help people buy and sell. When somebody asks you about a certain repair or who does something or if something's working or what the age of something is, don't get me wrong, we don't want to hold ourselves out as home inspectors, but you'll just know so much more about real estate, okay, than the average realtor if you own it. The other thing is, I know every one of us have a different setup, right? Like you might have a spouse who's a doctor and you're selling real estate, but you're not really dependent. It doesn't matter how many deals you sell. Hey, good for you. I don't. So real estate is my pension because if I stop helping people buy and sell real estate tomorrow, what am I going to do? Well, my portfolio is my pension. As you know, I saw this statistic lately. I think only 7% of jobs now in the United States provide a pension. Okay. So real estate is my pension. And also, it's allowing me to do some amazing things in life as far as enjoying life. I think I mentioned the last time I was on your call, I went fly fishing in New Zealand for 3 weeks. It was the most amazing trip. And now when I go on trips, I don't go for a week anymore. I go for multiple weeks now because I can. And real estate is really paving that way. So anyway, this is the page. And if you click here, you can enroll in the course, okay? And let me talk to you about this price right here. If you take this class in a very short time period, you're going to realize it should cost a lot more money. Unfortunately, a lot of realtors, and please don't take this the wrong way, are notorious for not wanting to invest in themselves. They just won't spend money on a coach or a CRM or whatever, and that's okay. I priced this course where I priced it because I want people to buy it. Okay, it doesn't do me any good. I won't help anybody if you don't buy this course. So it is worth a lot more than this. Take my word for it. In fact, I've had the president of our real estate investment club here, our landlord association. He's a very successful real estate investor. He just launched his own book on real estate investing. He went down through all these modules. He said it was the most thorough real estate investment education he's ever seen. And I will tell you, if you go through this and you don't think it's worth it, I'll give you your money back because I don't really care. But I will tell you, you're going to use this course for the next decade or more. And by the way, if you buy it, it's not, the time for access is unlimited. You'll have access to it forever. Okay. And as I mentioned, every Word document, every Excel file, every PDF, you can share them with whoever you want. It's not proprietary information. So let's do this right here. Let's see. So I bought the course. So let's go take a look at it. Let me see if I can remember my password. Okay, cool. So before I go into it, Gary, do you want to field some questions maybe now that I think about it? Are there any questions you got up right now?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is, most people here know my story and how I evolved from being an investor into growing a brokerage, a property management company, title company, and appraisal company, and then the training company. And it all makes sense in hindsight. But 30 years ago, I didn't have a grand plan. In fact, if I had done all that, people ask me now, "Hey, Gary, I want to get involved in real estate investing." I would look at them and say, "Are you crazy? Why would you do that to yourself?" But I'm here to tell you firsthand, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. That real estate investing, guys, you're going to have to learn one way or another if you're going to do it. Either going to learn from someone like Joe, or you're going to learn from the School of Hard Knocks. Either way, you're going to learn. But at the end of the day, when you learn to succeed, the real estate becomes a foundation upon which you can do other things. Right, Joe? Like building this program.
Absolutely.
I know you're working on property management too. I mean, this owning real estate is like the foundation of a good building. And the more solid you build the foundation, the higher you can build the building, right? I mean, I know it's an analogy, but it's a very good analogy, and it's true. So it all starts with education. Just to remind everybody, remember our mantra on the team is success is a result of number one, three variables. Number one, the right education, plus number two, the right information, plus number three, the right action, equals number four, the right results. Education is vital. And I've probably have spent easily over $1 million on my own education, just in real estate. I belong to mastermind groups that are $100,000 each. Okay. And the reason is the more I learn, how much I don't know and how much more there is to learn. So when I met Joe right away, I was like, man, we're brothers from other mothers, you know. I mean, and ironically, we're in the same state.
Yeah.
Extremely similar background. So, in any case, guys, just take notes and listen and do yourself a favor. Um, Good education, you know, is worth investing in yourself. I promise you, it'll pay dividends, way more than $950. I mean, you're gonna make that 10 times or more on your first deal when you do it the right way. So, in any case, sorry,
Yeah.
Joe, I get kind of passionate about that.
No,
And
no, I love it.
yeah,
It's funny, like you just touched on so many things. I think either Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn said, you know, your formal education will get you a job, but your self-education will make you a fortune. You know, I'm in a mastermind group right now with 20 real estate investors. Last year, I was in one that was $15,000. It was great. This spring, I was in one that was limitless. It was all about like mindset and manifesting what you want out of life. You've got to be willing to invest in yourself. You know, we're going to talk about rental property, but I will tell you the number one investment you can make is in yourself. And you've got to go to a good conference every year, take a good course every year, make sure you're reading books or listening to them on Audible. The day that I realized what self-education was and became a self-education junkie, my net worth just keeps going up. It's ridiculous. Not that money is the only important thing, but it sure makes life a lot more enjoyable. You know, I feel like I can take care of my family now, no matter what. You know, I rented this beautiful beach house right on the water in Charleston, South Carolina. I brought all my sisters and their spouses down there, and I didn't have to worry about how much it was. It's all about the experience now, you know, and not even so much real estate, but self-education, constantly trying to grow, put myself in the room with the right people. That's what really is making it happen, you know. So what's interesting, you know, Gary touched on something else. I didn't have, you know, when I got into real estate investing 25 years ago, I had no mentors. I didn't have this course. I just jumped into it, right? I made every mistake you could possibly make. And that's there's many good things about this course. Throughout the course, I'm talking to you about, well, why is this in this course? And here's why, because I did this wrong. And if I could do it over again, here's how I would do it. So this is a master class also on what not to do. Okay. And this course is strewn with lessons learned the hard way. So anyway, with that said, I just want to jump in and show you the product real quick. So there's I think 6 modules and a total of 21 videos, okay? And the videos are typically 10 to 30 minutes. So you can knock one off every, you know, once a night or whatever. It's not like you got to spend a lifetime figuring this out. There isn't a lot of fluff. I cut to the chase every time we get to a video, okay? Like let's click on financial due diligence, all right? This is a 39-minute video. And look at all these attachments here. This is the PDF. I want to show you something else. Every one of these modules, when you're watching this video, I give you a printable PDF file of the whole video. And I get rid of the green background. And what this allows you to do is print this out. And for that module, as you're watching it, you can write your notes right on every page as we're going through it, okay? So it's beautiful. And then you've got that with your notes supplemented for what you learned and heard when, you know, I'm going through that module, okay? And you know, I get into all these concepts and I try to break them down so that, you know, you can understand them easily, okay? So that's kind of what every one of these looks like. You're going to get this video. You're going to have all these attached documents. This is a cool APOD I made that if you're going to pay 100%, if you're going to do 100% financing on a property, how much would you have to pay for it? So at closing, you have 20% equity in it. Because if you're going to finance it 100% down and get the title, I'm guessing you're going to want to refinance it with a bank for a lower interest rate. And you need to know, if I buy this with 100% financing, what's the price? So at closing, though, I still have 20% equity and I'm in good shape. Nobody has this APOD anywhere, okay? I actually had to do a little algebra and back calculate into the formula on how to do it. But this is a cool one. You're going to get my APOD, which, believe it or not, there are lenders in town that when they're doing underwriting for investors, they use my APOD. There's a whole Word document here on due diligence, okay? Financial due diligence. How do I go about getting all this data so I know I'm analyzing the property correctly? This is a Word document on understanding the APOD. And let me see here for a minute. If I go down here, right here. So this is data, because then there's a second module that I just go over the APOD because it's such a critical tool for analyzing cash flow on a rental property. And so we use this data in that video to actually do a case study. And you'll actually pull up the Excel file, you'll type this stuff in, and you'll actually do an APOD. I'm a big believer in like learning by doing, okay? Let's see if I can get back to Zoom. Oh, here we are, I hope. Okay.
Is that Mars, by the way? The
I
red
don't
planet?
know why. That's your next acquisition?
No, no. I'm in the cruise mode now, so everything I do is passive. So yeah.
All right.
But it looks like now Elon Musk, I might invest in him and he might buy Mars. We'll see, So
I'm trying to get back to the hold on a second. Here we go. Sorry. Okay, so let me go back here. And so that's a typical one, right? And as I mentioned, then we have a whole nother module here where we just talk about the APOD, okay? And again, this is the data. You're going to use that Excel file. And
we back to how to buy rental property.
And we just walk right through it.
Less.
Let me bounce forward.
Rent data off of those and who pays what.
And
there's 2302.
So that's the Excel file where you'll actually be taking the data I provide. We'll type it in. And at the bottom, you're going to get the cap rate, the debt coverage ratio, cash on cash. When you could tell your clients these numbers, and they're going to love you and they're going to want to do more deals with you, okay? This is what separates the real investment real estate agents against the people who are only residential but are faking it till they make it. I've had numerous property owners call me and beg me to sell their investment properties. They'll have a couple of 2 units or a couple 4 units. And inevitably, they've paid more than what they're worth. They don't know how to take care of them because they never got any education. They didn't create a business plan. They didn't ask themselves all the key questions. Or they didn't even use a realtor, or they used a realtor who didn't know to tell them they were paying too much for the property. This is how you protect your clients, by knowing how to do this kind of thing. Let's see, what else is there? Here's one on just finding. Let me go to the top. Let's walk through this. So I'm going to pull up this PDF form of this video. And let's scroll down here. This is a little bit about me. I don't want to get into that. But this first introduction is an overview of the course. This is what I wanted to get to. So we have a video on introduction. I believe it or not, this mindset and perspective about becoming a real estate investor, it's really important. And then how to prepare, setting up your business. This is a really good one here. I have learned so many times all the different stages where I needed to find money or had to reach in my pocket. And I didn't know about these things before I became an investor. It's good to know about these things before you start trying to buy a property. I've had people, again, ask me to sell their properties because stuff went wrong and they didn't have the money to fix up the units and get them rented, and they got upside down and they had to sell. Okay. I have a real nice, sweet little short business plan that you can fill out, but it asks you all the key things before you try to do this. Talk about taxes and bookkeeping. It's mandatory. Finding deals, doing the physical due diligence. Again, let me go down here real quick. And I've got 3 or 4 different types of inspection sheets in Excel that you're going to get. Like these are inspections by room. And this is thorough, okay? I mean, this is everything you can look at. And don't get me wrong, once you become a pretty good at this stuff, whether you're showing a client through here, through a multifamily, or you're looking at it for yourself, you start to be able to look at this from a 10,000-foot view. But I know if my wife tells me to go to the grocery store and get 6 items, if I don't write it down, I come back with 5. It's inevitable, okay? So this is a shopping list when you're first starting out to teach you how to look at a property when you go through that property. These are the things to look at in a kitchen. These are the things to look at on the exterior, okay? Plumbing and electrical items, right? What's the environmental stuff to think about? It's all in this thing, okay? So you're going to get these inspection sheets. I think there was another one here. Let me see. Okay. And again, this is the companion manual for that physical due diligence module, okay? And again, when you're watching my content, just start taking your notes, right? Tour the property. It's telling you all the things to do. All the thinking is in here. All you have to do is follow it. All you have to do is be willing to learn it and follow it. What else do we have? This is a great module. The module on leasing and renting. It's great. Let's go take a look at it. I know I'm bouncing around a little bit, but let's go back. And so, I was going through introduction. Actually, let's do this here. There you go. Okay. So let me just finish this real quick. So, of course, we have financial due diligence. And this is about getting the data. What are the tools you use? And then again, we drill down on that case study with the APOD. I have learned a lot about negotiating for real estate. And I'm by no means a negotiating master. I'm not going to write a book on negotiating. But there are a few key points that if you know will help you out a lot. And my philosophy is I let the seller dictate the price or the terms, not both. And we talk about that in here. I get into financing the deal, including private lenders, seller financing. Where's the money come from? This is an agent, right? When we put something under agreement till the time we close, transaction management. I talk about that. There's a set of things I always do when I close on a property if I'm the one buying it. If I'm not, you can tell your client to do these things. Now you own it. Guess what? You got to make it cash flow. You got to take care of it. So now we start talking about management. How do you rent your units? I get into where I rent them. What's the content in my ads? Rent collection, how the different ways you can collect rent. What do you got to do? You got to maintain them, right? And then I talk about protecting yourself. And believe me, insurance is just one way to protect yourself. We get into entities, also just how to protect yourself by running your business correctly, okay? You don't want to go to court. The goal is to stay out of court. As we have protected classes, right? Well, as a landlord, you've got to observe those protected classes. And then we put together a punch list of the things you need to do, a 90-day plan, so you can buy a property within 90 days. So I just wanted to do that outline. So let's go back here and what did I want to talk about? Oh, this is great. This is worth the $950 alone. I threw this bonus video in here, and it's a discussion about all my biggest mistakes that have cost me literally tens of thousands of dollars, okay? And if you just avoid these, you will have paid for this course at least 10 times over. So I threw that in as a bonus. Financing the deal. Again, these are all the different ways I finance deals. Successfully managing the property, right? Post-closing tasks management, all those. Here's another bonus video. I'll just pull this up. I took an old storage room at one of my motels. It was probably a 10 by 25 room, and I turned it into this awesome laundromat with vending machines, a skill game, and a gumball, 3-bay gumball machine. This thing is making me $1,000 a month cash flow. So if you buy an apartment building, this is a great way to add and monetize. Or when you're showing a property to a client and you say, hey, by the way, you could gut this room out and make this a great laundromat. When you're showing properties to clients, you know, pointing out those things helps them decide whether they're going to make a decision or not, right? So this is a cool little bonus video. And again, how to protect yourself. I've wound up getting sued a couple times, not because I broke the law, just did some dumb stuff and should have went about it a different way. And we talk about that in here. Of course, using entities, having the proper insurances, being ethical, not making housing discrimination, all those things, okay? It's super important. And then you're pulling it together to buy a property in 90 days. So that's the course. Okay, drop the link to the course. Well, if you just go to, all you have to do is go to selfmadewealth.co. Can everybody see that right there? Selfmadewealth.co, it's right there. And by the way, if you take this course, you can unlimited email to me. If you're at any point and you're like, hey, I'm in minute two and 50 seconds, and you're talking about this thing, do you mean this or do you mean that? Send me an email. I'll go in, I'll look at it, I'll email you back a different explanation. Okay, so I'm here to help you in any way I can. Before I take some questions, I want to hold up a couple books. This book right here, I know is this showing up backwards on your screen?
That's good, actually. Yep.
Okay. This is a good book. I read it, and it's got some great concepts about finding investment property sellers and buyers and helping them put deals together and finance deals. Can you see enough information about the book?
Yep.
This is a good book. If you're serious about working with investment clients, buy this book. It's really good. Can I put it down
type
now?
it in. I'm going to type it in. So it's income property brokerage.
Yeah, you should have this in your library if you want to work with investment clients. Good read. Everybody got it? Okay.
Yep.
Here's another good book. Now, I have a degree in electrical engineering, so I'm a little bit of a math junkie, but this book is great. Understanding the different investment, property, math, and ratios. You know, it gets into like net present value, you know, future value, cap rates, internal rate of return. It's a good book. Okay. And again, it depends on how far you want to go with this. Like I'm a CCIM. I have a certified commercial investment member designation. And by the way, if you want to take a great course, the CCIM 101 class on how to do this stuff and the case studies in the class that you do, it is A+. Even if you don't want to be a CCIM, that class is amazing. So there's that book. Everybody got that one?
Yeah, and I think that guy wrote another one too. So a long time ago, back in like the, I don't know, 80s, 90s, something like that. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was about scaling your holdings, going from little duplexes up through 4, 8, 12, 30, 100 plus unit buildings.
Yeah.
I can't remember in any case, great,
He did write
excellent
another.
books.
That's the guy. Yeah. This is a cool book right here. And I give a lot of gifts to my clients. And if you've got a client that wants to become a real estate investor, like I started out buying single family houses. This is a good book. I think if somebody wants to try to be a real estate investor, and actually in my course, I talk about developing a business model. And what I say by that is, like right now, I have a business model for the next motel I want to require. And there are certain criteria I want. Like I don't want a 2-level motel. I want a motel because the doors are all exterior facing. There's lots of reasons for it. I won't get into it, but I have a business model for what I'm looking for. And if a property doesn't meet that, I'm not going to spend 2 hours walking through it. Okay. But a single family house that you're going to rent or Airbnb or a 2-unit is a great place to start as a real estate investor, because if you don't like doing it, it's easy to sell. It's easy to manage. It's a great way to learn the business. But that's a good book that makes a good gift for a client. Okay. By the way, I'm gonna take a quick tangent. I have about 100 videos on YouTube right now, and it's getting me a ton of business as a realtor. This is a great book on YouTube. In fact, I met this guy at a Valuetainment Vault event. That's one of Patrick Bet-David's events. I actually sat on the couch and talked to this guy. He's got an amazing YouTube mastermind and a national event that he does. He's a guru, and this is a great book. It's easy to understand. If you don't mind being in front of a camera, YouTube is going to make you a lot of money. Okay.
Yep.
That's a good book.
Hey, Joe, real quick, can you read off the title of that last one? Because I'm installing a thumbnail view. So
This one?
I actually just listened to it on Audible. Yep.
Yeah. YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell.
Yeah.
YouTube Secrets. And this is another good one. I bought one of these and I gave it to every one of my agents. YouTube for real estate agents, right? Thin little paperback, but a great little product. And I'm going to hold up one other thing, because if you want to start working with investors, by the way, you could be making little videos. I'm going to give you a good business idea. Okay. If you want to start working with investors, buy this course. And when you get done with one module, make a YouTube video and say, hey, by the way, did you know this about finding deals? Or did you know this about due diligence? Or did you know this about an APOD? And I bought this little Canon camera right here. I'm in love with this thing. Okay. Don't tell my wife. This is about $800, but it comes with the microphone. I put it on a little tripod. I pop this off. I got a whiteboard and I stand in front of my whiteboard and I make little videos. I just did one on where to find money as an entrepreneur. But again, you could drop a video, you could record a video. You don't have to have any script. Just take 10 things you learned from my video, write it on a whiteboard, put this on a tripod in front of you and say, hey, today I want to talk to you about real estate investing. And when you do the next video, say, hey, today I want to talk to you about if you're going to become a real estate investor, you should have a business plan. And I've got one I can give you. Just start dropping YouTube. Just take my course and start dropping YouTube. If you get done doing 20 or 30 videos from my course on YouTube, people are going to be calling you to buy and sell investment property. Okay. And this camera is fantastic. Okay. I love it. It came with everything you need. It didn't come with a tripod, but you can get a tripod for like $30 at Walmart.
Hey, Joe, I want to tell you too, when I first launched, I hadn't even launched my brokerage yet. I was just into the transitioning from being an investor to being an investor agent. And somebody said, hey, you should do a YouTube video when you're walking through one of those investment properties. You can do it on your phone and it's free. There's all these things like, okay, easy, free, make money. So I went to this 11-unit building, recorded going through all the units, giving all the numbers out as I was going through each unit and the expenses and everything, and loaded up all from my truck. And then later that night I got back. So I'm gonna go look at that video. It was horrible. I mean, it looked like a kindergartner did it. But guess what? Somebody called me from that video and I sold the 11-unit building. Never since then, we've got over 1,000 videos on YouTube now, 16 playlists. And I'm telling you, if it's easy, it's free. People don't care what you look like, if the lighting's good, it's the content. It's the content. Obviously the prettier the picture, the better, but it's the content, guys. Do not be shy. Don't hold yourself back. If you knew me 15 years ago, you would know how impactful that statement really is.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and you search on Erie real estate, okay, ERIE, Erie, Pennsylvania. Go search on Erie real estate. My videos will come up. I don't have any scripts. I'm an average looking guy. I say a lot and so, and I talk with my hands. Nobody cares. I did a whole lot of videos in 2023, and I think at least 30 listings came to me from my videos in 2023. And I did nothing this year, and I still did 7 million in volume. And in my market, the average house is $200,000. So that you got to do a lot to get 7 million. That YouTube channel just keeps working for me. It's crazy. So I know like a lot of people don't want to be in front of a camera because they're worried about the way they look, or if they're going to say the right thing. It doesn't matter. My agents ask me, well, when you walk through that house, did you write down a whole script? I'm like, no, what do I need a script for? I walk in, I'm like, oh, hey, look at this kitchen. Look at that beautiful hood. Oh my gosh, look at that light. Isn't it gorgeous? I love all the storage. Check out this check out the subway tile. Isn't this kitchen beautiful? Just talk to the camera like you're talking to your client. There's no secret. It's super easy.
Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that, you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control. You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay. Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay. The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay. One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay. One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You've got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link, set up a call. And by the way, I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live.
But if you want to work with investors, just take my course and just repurpose it. And people are like, wow, Karen is the person to call. She really knows about investment property, right? So not only is this course going to help you with clients, it's content, right? Just repurpose it.
Hey, Joe. So the actual structure of the training is that there's self-learning. They got a video, written material they have access to, and you mentioned emails. Is there like any group call, ones groups, anything like what's the actual I guess structure, if you don't mind,
Yeah. I don't have a Facebook group or a monthly call. I know a lot of people do that. Again, I think my suggestion is if as you're going through the material, if something doesn't work for you, like if you don't quite understand something, just shoot me an email and tell me where you're at, and I'll go in and explain it to you. But I have to tell you, I've tried to break this down. You're not going to have to study some incredible financial formula here. It's common sense. And the fact that you're all real estate agents, I don't think you'll have any trouble understanding it. But if you want to hop on a Zoom call with me and have me pull this up and say, hey, is this what you're looking at, and explain it, I'd be more than happy to do it. Just shoot me an email and we can do that anytime you want.
That's good, guys. We call that guided training, Joe. So in other words, nobody's not just buying a book and they're on their own. They have access to you, and it's one-on-one, even if it's Zoom or an email. That counts a lot, and that's
absolutely.
huge. So
well, the other thing, I just launched this, and of course, when I used to teach it over the past decade, as the real estate market has changed, as I keep learning things, I'm always adding to it. But this is the first launch of the digital form. So I welcome that because you may point out something to me that I didn't quite explain very well, and I'll fix that, and we'll make the video better. So I welcome that, emails or one-on-one Zooms, because it's just going to help me make it better.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, guys, some of you already know Joe because we've known each other for a while, and I've actually been to Joe's office and I've seen enough of the material to tell you this was, you know, I don't just have any person on here doing this, guys. If you think about it, it's probably been years since when anybody else are on here, you know, launching a program like this. So this is kind of a big thing. And for those of you who aren't familiar with us in the class and the program that you're on now, just consider the fact that Joe's here for a really good reason. I actually know him. Yeah, so if you're looking to learn how to do this and you're thinking, how can I apply this to my clients? Joe has already been doing the same thing just like me. The way the content is delivered is positioning you to also deliver that to your clients. You're their guide. So Joe's your guide. You're going to implement this out there in the field, hopefully for yourselves, but clearly with your clients too. Then you'll be their guide. You got Joe at your disposal. And I challenge you to go find that anywhere else for $950. Not even close.
Yeah.
There's programs that are now, I'm not going to name any names, but some people that I also know personally that are now charging $135,000 to learn from them. And I'm not going to knock it because I know the person personally. I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
that's no different than this. In fact, I've seen the content. This is extremely clear and crisp. Joe's an engineer. It's not going to be like a kindergartner did it with crayon like me. This is clean, clear, crisp, easy to follow, paint by numbers instructions. That's what I like about it. It's literally do A, do B, do C. It's like that, and that's the best way to learn.
It's interesting, I told some experienced people what I was charging for this course, and they know people that have taken my course when I used to teach it live, and they just laughed because anybody that's selling all their knowledge in a course, it's $20,000 and up. It really is. I mean, it's just, but again, I feel like I want people to buy this. I want to help people. I don't want to, I've got 25 years of experience in this course, and I'm prospering in amazing ways. My life is blessed. So, and people say this, I hope this doesn't come out wrong. People say, oh, I don't need the money. I don't, and that's why I don't care to charge $10,000 or $20,000. Personally, I've seen some of those courses, and I think they're a ripoff. They give you manuals this thick full of junk that you don't even need. This is real. I only put in this course what I think you should do if you want to succeed at this. It's that simple. There's no junk in here. There's no filler. But again, I just want people to buy it, and get into real estate because I know what it's doing for me. So anyway, that's why we're where it's at.
Yeah.
And
Hey guys,
anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, if you have questions, guys, now's the time. I mean, this is open forum. It's for you. So you've got Joe and I both on at the same time here. This is not the time to be shy, but how about questions on the content of the courses? Anybody have questions on that? Like the calculators on a single family, or are they different than calculators on multifamily? Can you compare properties? All those things that you're going to come up against, just think forward and ask those questions. Here's Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen. I ran through when I finish my broker's license class in 2 months. This will be definitely my next class. Well, that's right, Kathleen. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I know you're getting
congratulations.
close.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we've got a couple folks doing that on the team, actually. So, actually, let me ask you this: if you've ever bought a rental property before, if you could raise your hand, just do the hand raise function and just type in the chat box. I have. And I'd really be interested to see if you've done rentals or flips or both. If you've done both, then put in both. There's a reason I'm asking that question, by the way. And one of them is, Joe's, I've seen so many gurus teaching people to flip first and then go buy rentals. In all my years, 38 years in the business, I could probably count on one hand the number of people that actually make transition, flipping homes to buy rentals. Most of the success, the vast preponderance of it, is in people that start off buying rentals. And then later on, they leverage what they learned by buying rentals and the cash flow to fund their flipping. So they weren't doing hard money. They weren't waiving inspections and doing all kinds of crazy things. They were actually being very smart. So that's why I ask people if you've done both. Because my suggestion is, and especially a market like today, when there's still uncertainty, you know, you can't go wrong with rentals. It just, even if you pay too much, you're still going to make money on rentals. But you pay too much on a flip, you're gonna have a hard time making money. And if you get knocked off that horse on a flip one time, this is what I've seen happen, Joe. They never get back on the horse. With rentals, it's a very forgiving investment. You can upgrade the property, you can change tenants, you can do all kinds of things to improve your situation. With flips, you get one shot. That's a one-shot deal.
Let me add to that. I've probably flipped 6 properties in my life. And I'm the type of person that if there's a particular like process out there, I want to do it just so I know it. Um, and I made money on every flip. I think one I broke even on. And then I've sold a number of rentals, and I've read this in books, and I will attest to it. I regret selling every property I've ever sold.
Yep.
Now the flips I didn't, because those were, they were single families. They were better flips. And then I had a few single families that I was renting, and I sold them because I wanted to have bigger projects and more cash flow. But I've sold, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 commercial or multifamily properties, and I wished I never sold them.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it, because I always say this: flipping is a job. If you stop flipping, your revenue stops. If I don't buy another rental property, my 3 motels and my apartment buildings, while I'm sleeping, they're making money, and that'll never stop. I plan on, I'd like to buy a couple more motels. It's odd the way I got into motels. I just serendipitously fell into it, and I really love it, so I'm leaning into it. But I love apartment buildings. I had a really nice Airbnb, 6 beds, 4 baths. It performed really well. In fact, ironically, I just sold it to Matt Bennett, who was on the call before, because I only had one Airbnb. And I think with Airbnb, for me, they call those STRs, short-term rentals. I think if you're going to do that, you should own a half a dozen of them. Go buy a good piece of Airbnb software, and that, if that's what you like, make that your business model. But own more than one. It just didn't fit my personality. And actually, that's one that I don't. That's the only one I don't regret selling. But otherwise, buying and holding, like Gary said, you just keep building equity, and then eventually you refinance it and buy something else. And that's when your money starts to work for you, right? Every property I own just in the last 4 or 5 years is almost worth twice what I paid. And it's funny, I say this too. There, almost every property in the last 5 years I didn't buy, I'm kicking myself for not buying it. I negotiated on it, looked at it, stepped back, somebody else bought it, and now I see it, and it's worth twice what I would have paid for it, and I'm just kicking myself. So yeah, you absolutely want to buy and hold. It's the way to build wealth. It's funny, I didn't put the slide in here, I don't think I did, but when I was teaching this locally, I put the names of all the families in Erie that have built generational wealth. If you go to any town, there's a family where everybody knows them, right? They're multimillionaires. They own tons of real estate. And in my town, there's 4 or 5 families. And I had a slide that said, here's all the families that have built generational wealth through real estate investing. And then I had another slide that said, here's all the families that have built generational wealth through flipping. And the slide was empty.
Yep.
And everybody got a good chuckle out of that. I see some questions here.
Beth's got a question.
Okay, so this first question, most investors won't move forward unless they have a certain cap rate. Yet often they'll make up the difference in appreciation. How do you change their perspective? That's a great question. I just visited a friend of mine in San Diego, and of course, out there you buy for appreciation. You don't buy for cash flow. And my course covers buying for cash flow and at least breaking even. Like if I had to go to San Diego and buy a multifamily, let's say there was a 4 unit there, it's probably $600,000. And you might lose 20 grand a month, but you've got to hang on to it for 2 years and then sell it for 200 or 300,000 more because the appreciation there is crazy. That's not a market I want to be in. That's not my thing. I do like to buy for cash flow. Every market has different cap rates. In my market, we're seeing 7 to 12% cap rates, depending on what part of town you're in. I think appreciation happens though almost everywhere. We know we have a shortage in housing, right? And the investment world is done well. Even in the worst part of my town, where people were paying 30 and 40,000 a unit, they're now paying 50 to 75 a unit just over the past 4 years. So I think there's appreciation everywhere. But again, I'm not an appreciation investor, so I can't really answer that. I think if you're in a market where it's just appreciation, you better have some staying power and be able to write some checks and not have cash flow. I mean, that's tough. This next one, how do you cover dealing with vacancies? Yes, in my module about getting your units rented, I talk about all the best places to run ads, the content that should be in those ads. I have a good phone interview sheet before you even get out of your desk and go show a property to somebody. You should ask some questions and find out if they're even worth showing it, right? How to process that rental app. I have a scorecard if you want to use it, and all the different ways you can score a tenant. If they score well, you can rent them the unit. And nothing on that scorecard is discriminatory, by the way. So as far as vacancies, yes, we cover that in the module about leasing and renting. If you have 3 rentals and one has a camp or a reason, and that needs to be evicted. Well, first of all, if people aren't paying their rent, I used to be the nicest guy in the world. Oh, I lost my job. I'm sick. My son just got arrested, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. If you're 3 days late, the 5-day notice is getting taped to your door. If you don't get caught up, I go to the magistrate and start the eviction process. I'm sorry, but you have to run a business like a business. And again, I talk about that in this course. When I teach this course, like you are starting a company, and I'm teaching you how to run it like a company. Okay. And if you don't, you're going to lose money. Okay. People will give you every excuse in the world not to pay rent. And every time I've let people go, I've always regretted it. Every time. Nobody ever gets caught up. Trust me. So if you've got a person, get them out, get it fixed up, and get it re-rented. Okay. So I hope that's answering that question, but I think that's the question. Somebody's kind of camping out in your unit and they're not paying. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah. If you're not generating income, I'm gonna say something. Don't be offended, but it's not the tenant's fault. It's your fault. Okay. Get that tenant out. Here's the thing. Let me tell you a good story. This is how I handle the process. In my lease, it says the rent's due in the first 3 days of the month. If you don't pay on the 4th day, I call them and I say, hey, you now owe me the rent and the $35 late fee. And if you don't pay me by the end of the day, I'm posting the 5-day notice to vacate. And in the lease, there's a $50 fee to post the 5-day notice to vacate. So you'll owe me that too by the end of today. And I will start the eviction process. And they'll say to me, oh, I'm getting my tax return in a week. Can I get caught up? I say, fine, but I'm not stopping the process. Because if you don't pay me and get caught up in a week, then I won't have wasted my week. I'm running this like a business. I want you to get caught up. And I tell them, if you get caught up, I'll stop the eviction process. You still owe me the posting fee and the late fee and any fees for filing. Just keep that in mind. Most of the time, they don't pay me. It's just a fact. So the sooner you get the person out, the sooner you can clean it up and get it rented.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Okay, guys. Going once, going twice. Now, real quick, before I say going 3 times, remember what Joe went over in the beginning. Okay. You can go to the website. There's resource sections where you can get all kinds of, and I've done that before. First time I had Joe teach, I went out and grabbed the content. And Joe just put his email in there. Hey Joe, can you type in again the location of the resource tab?
Yeah, well, here, let's go right here.
Okay.
If you go to selfmadewealth.co, just click on resources. It's right at the top of the page. And this money playbook is something I designed when I was really into manifesting my and visualizing and triggering my subconscious mind to just think about money and prosperity every day. This is just in general about any business idea. If you're going to start a pizza shop, a tanning salon, if you want to sell your own knowledge, if you want to have be an influencer on a podcast, buy an e-com business, this just talks about things to think about if you're going to buy or start a business. I love change. If I'm not changing, I'm not happy. That's all I can tell you. This is about creating a vision board. It was interesting when I was trying to buy, like I said, 3 weeks ago, I just closed on a 47-room motel, beautiful saltwater pool. It's a block away from all this development. I'm so jazzed right now. But I was negotiating for this property for like a year. And I was, there's this boutique hotel mastermind. I'm not in it, but I followed the guy online. Well, he did this 8-week, 1 hour a week mastermind called Limitless. And it was all about manifesting what you want. And when I got in it, I printed out all these pictures of that motel and taped them on my wall. So every day I was looking at that motel. 30 days later, I had it under agreement. It was crazy, right? So this is about creating a vision board. I think this is important. Every January, I redo my personal financial statement to see if my net worth and my assets have grown over the last 12 months. And I think if you get this, you'll get my personal financial statement. Obviously, this is a great discussion about why people should invest in real estate. This is I think there are like 10 steps in here that I use to accomplish goals. I find that when you take a structured process to goal accomplishment, it works way better. You get there. You can wish you're going to accomplish something, or you can actually have a written plan. This clarity toolkit, like I talk about, the first thing is figuring out what you want out of life. Like, do you want to own a house in Florida? Do you want to go to Paris every month for a spring? Do you want your kid to go to Stanford? What do you want out of life? And then the second section is why do you want it? And then the third section is how am I going to get it? Am I going to start a manufacturing company? Am I going to do 100 transactions a year? Am I going to be a best-selling author? Am I going to own rental property? What's the most probable way for you to get it? That's what Clarity Toolkit is. And then time management, I don't have to tell you this. Time is super valuable, okay? And this is a good discussion about making sure you're not wasting your time so that you can accomplish the things you want to accomplish. So these are all free. So that's just right up here on the resources tab, right on the home page.
Hi, Joe. Sorry to interrupt. I'm a little late. So did I miss the information that the course is available to sign up at any time, or there is a window?
No, it's here forever. Yep, you can sign up anytime you want. I do have a course on, the whole course is going to be on using other people's money to buy real estate, whether it's seller financing, private lenders, banks, because there's so much knowledge. I tried to cover that in the course, but I'm going to do a whole course on just that. So I'm working on that right now. So eventually that'll pop up here. I also have a course I'm doing on sales, prospecting, and lead gen. It's everything I've learned in the last 20 years. So over time, every once in a while, something might pop up here. And in fact, if you want, Gary, when I've got something new coming out, I'll reach out and We can talk about it. But
Okay.
yeah, the course is here, and once you buy it, you own it forever. There's no time limit. And what's nice is you don't have to do the first module or the second. You can jump around and look at anything. And like I said, nothing is proprietary in there. Use it to build a brand, to market, use it for your own portfolio, use it to help your clients. I don't care if you give your clients my inspection sheets and my APOD. It's not proprietary information how to do an APOD or inspect the property, right? I didn't make this up. I just got good at it and created the tools. So it's all there for you to use anytime you want, any way you want. You could literally take the APOD module, film your own video on how to do an APOD, and just copy mine, drop that on YouTube, send it out to your clients, email it out, right? That's why I say, like, this is good to help you be an investor. It's good to help you do deals, and it's a ton of content you can use in your realtor business.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Let me go back up here real quick. Selfmadewealth.co. Yep. Go to the resource page. Okay, cool. I put
Yeah.
my email
That's
address here.
another.
Oh, just
I'm
one
sorry.
other
Go ahead,
thing.
Joe.
No, just
Mhm.
one last thing. I put my email address here. Even if you don't buy the course, if you got any questions at all at any time, just shoot me an email. I'm always here to help.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I like about the way you do things, Joe, is it's not a sales-based approach. You obviously have a program to sell, but it's you're coming from a place of contribution and service. And one of the telltale signs is, and I learned to do the same thing too. That's why I picked up on it. When someone with you, engages with you through a professional relationship like here through training, the relationship is lifetime. And I've always done that. In fact, a lot of people on tonight, some of them I've known 10, 15, even 20 years, and they may have just bought something 20 years ago for $1,000 or something. And we're still working together. And I love it because I feel like I've got, connections and network all over the US and Canada. So when it comes to investing, if I'm partnering with somebody, I already know them. If I just need somebody there that can help me check things out because I'm not there, I already know them. It's just I learn from them. That's the other thing. Would you guys? I hope you follow along what Joe's doing because I hope some of you will follow in the same footsteps and learn to teach and serve others. It's an amazing way to give to the human race. There always has to be some type of remuneration because you have to get in the end. There has to be an exchange of value at some level, But the difference is, once you connect with Joe, I mean, who knows? You may even find yourself going on a fly fishing trip to New Zealand. I'm not promising anything. I'm just putting that out there, Joe. You know,
I'm definitely going back to New Zealand. It actually was better than Alaska, believe it or not.
I believe it. Yeah.
I just wanted to pull this up here. I've got 4,400 contacts in Google, and Gary is absolutely right. Success in life is about people. The more people you can meet, the more business you're going to do, the more you're going to learn, the more you can help people, the more people are going to help you. Get in Rotary, Lions Club, get in a networking group, join a golf league, help out, get on your church board, but just get around people. It's all about people. There's just no doubt about it. In the last 20 years, I've put every person I've met in Google contacts. I say this and it's true. If my house burned down tomorrow, as long as my wife and my dogs didn't get hurt, I'd be like, I got insurance. But if somebody stole my contacts, I think I would jump off a bridge.
Yep.
So it is.
Totally
It's all
important.
about people.
It is. I've been texting people lately that I haven't taught in over 5 years, and actually some of them are actually on tonight. And it's an amazing because I'm not sure if they remember me or not. I don't know if I did a good job or not, but it comes to light when they respond and say, "Hey, can I come to Monday Night Live class? Can I have access to your platform?" You know, um, it's a wonderful feeling. It's not all of them, but it's definitely plenty of them. And it's very fulfilling. It's extremely fulfilling. So, okay, guys, going once, going twice. You got Joe's email. You got the website. You get access to the resources. My suggestion to you is you ponder it. I know some of you are going to want to do due diligence. If you can look up Joe online, he's an open book. I've already done that. and he's the real deal, you know, and I've actually gone to visit him in person. Um, and I'm sure there'll be more times. Joe knows what I'm going through right now back home, so my traveling is very limited at the moment. But I love to get around and visit the people I know. So, and that'll be you one day, guys. All right.
Hey
So
guys,
there's
wait.
yep.
I just found something really good.
There's
Okay.
more.
So there's a bonus. So this is a class I taught at a brokerage when I was an agent. And I taught this class to the agents how to work with investment clients. And if you buy my course, I'm going to send you this Word document for free because this gets real specific on actually the things you want to do to help that client prepare their property to actually list. So there's a whole bunch of cool stuff in here. So if you buy my course, I'm going to just throw this in to you for free. It's really good. It's all these things to look at. Documentation you want to get from the seller, because if you have all this up front, it's going to make that sale go a lot quicker and a lot better. So here's the interview sheet. Here's data you want to get from them. What else do I have in here? Here's some marketing emails. Here's 4 reasons buyer buy, and you want to tackle those. Tasks to do before and during the sale. Things to look at when you're inspecting, questions to ask the tenants. Anyway, I'll send you this Word file if you buy the course. I'll just throw it in there for free. It's kind of, I remembered this was specific to listing property for an investor.
Yeah.
Best dates for fly fishing.
Are
In
you
New
asking for New Zealand?
That's great.
Because Gary brought up, not promising anything, but there's fly fishing.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny.
So if you buy
So-
my course, I'll also.
Yes, I'll send you a book on fly fishing.
There you go. You know, it's funny. The people that know me, Joe, they're thinking you two, we must be related somehow because I keep everything, and I think thankfully it's organized like yours is in catalog. But it comes up. You use
Yeah.
it. You know, it never fails. I'm so glad I have all that stuff from all those years. You know.
Absolutely. I save everything. But yeah, that's actually a cool little Word document. So I'll just actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send that to you, Gary. I'm just going to
Okay.
email it to you. You can just give it to everybody. I don't care if they
Okay.
buy the class or not. I'll just shoot you an email and just give it to everybody. It's kind of a cool little glimpse on how to work with a seller.
That's awesome. Well, I
Yeah,
really
just-
appreciate this.
Yeah, I'll
Hey
send
guys,
it.
if you could just do a hand raise or type in the chat box a pat on the back for Joe because he's doing this on his own time. You know.
Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you guys. This is an opportunity for me. I
Yeah.
really love it. Thank you.
We'll just
Yeah.
open our mouths.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everybody. And get out there and own some real estate. It's a great thing. If you don't own any, do something. Go read a book, get in a mastermind group, take a course, whether it's mine or somebody else's. But man, get out there and own real estate. It just changes so many things, not just what's in your bank account. I could talk for an hour on all the other things that have come out of being a landlord. It's just amazing. I mean, I have sold houses to so many of my tenants when they finally were able to get enough money and the right credit. And guess what? Because I treat them good, they call me, I sell them a house. It's just ridiculous what comes out of being a landlord.
You got it.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
going to send you this book. Everybody, I got to jump off. But thanks for being on the call, and let me know if I can do anything for you.
Happy holidays.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Joe. You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Thanks again, Joe.
You're
Hey guys,
welcome.
Thank you.
if you do have any other questions, please let me know. Go ahead and type them in or unmute yourself. You can ask me. Otherwise, I'll head out and enjoy my last night here in PA. So Joe, I might try to call you tomorrow and back to Virginia tomorrow, just to say hi and touch base. Yep.
Absolutely. I'm going
Yep.
to send you a couple Word documents here. Just share them with everybody, okay? A couple
You
of
got
these
it.
old documents.
Yep. Well, I've been taking notes too. I'm gonna write down a note there. Big maker, but listen, everybody, take care of yourselves. Set up your one-on-ones.
Good night.
Yep, we'll see you next Monday, the following 2 Mondays are the first 2 steps in VGAP, vision, goals, action plans. But you want to be there for that. The vision exercise is next Monday. Goals is the following Monday. The Monday of Christmas week, there'll be no class. And then the following Monday, the 30th, there will be a class. Okay. And that'll be the actions part of VGAP. And then we'll do planning the first Monday in January. That'll get us started for the year. So big, I'm telling you, just talk to people like Kendra, Vanetta, Brianna. They have all taken that to heart this year, and each one of them has succeeded tremendously. And actually, Brianna has done the VGAP multiple times this year, and now she's working on a big hotel deal in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm talking big as in Marriott big. Okay, so this is one of our own doing this. This is how important this is. I can't even begin to tell you how much it's meant for me. I mean, you can't put a price tag on it. So take it to heart, take it seriously. The more you put yourself into that process, the bigger, the better your year is going to be. And it continues. It's not just a one-time thing. It's for life. So, okay, I'll see you next week. I'll see you on the one-on-ones. God bless you and your loved ones, and I hope you have a good rest of the week.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.